touring out show.
Then you did like this kind of a supergroup, Antichrist, and that was with Matt Freeman from Rancid, who's like one of the most incredible bass players in the world.
Exactly.
And then you have DJ Bonebreak, so you got the killer rhythm section from hell.
I did, and then I got to play guitar with them.
Yeah, that's pretty badass.
It was extremely badass. I love Matt Freeman, and I love Rancid, and he's a great guy. Playing with him was wonderful, and making that record was wonderful, and that was like a magical moment. What happened was I met him at the Mask. I discovered I was putting out this record live at the Mask, and I went down to look at the Mask and see if I could get in there. And I went in there, and they were about to start painting it, and it was still original. All the graffiti from all the kids was still in there. The Mask had everything was in there exactly. The doors were painted. It said X, Fear the Germs everywhere. Wow. And we walked in and we said, please stop, please don't paint. And we asked who was in charge. We found out that someone had just was going to paint it and use it for storage. We found out who it was. We gave them $5,000.
Whoa.
We had a big giant party. We rented the Mask, and it was like it was so fantastic. I forget why I brought this up, but anyways, it doesn't matter. And I met Matt at the Mask. That's why. And I hung out with Rancid, and I asked him. What I said was, Matt, I'm putting together a band with DJ Bonebreak, and it's going to be a punk rock trio, and I'm going to play guitar, and I'm looking for a bass player. And he goes, okay, I'll do it. And what I was going to say was, do you know anybody that would be interested in playing with me? Because I figured he'd know any cool bass players, because being the best.
Yeah.
And he just said on the spot, and I go, don't you want to hear the songs or anything? And he said, no, he didn't need to hear the songs first. I love him to death. He's adorable.
Cool. So you guys still talk once in a while?
Yeah. Original Sin was just opened for Rancid about 1.5 years ago. Actually, we got back together to play a show in St. Louis opening for them.
What kind of joy do you derive from exhibiting your mixed media collages and your personal journals for the world to see?
Oh, well, the joy in that is that you get to create it in a vacuum all by yourself, just out of pure enjoyment and love and fun. And then you take it someplace, and you know people are seeing it, but you're not getting any feedback. No applause, no, you know, why can't you do it this way, or why don't you play that, or why don't you do this, or paint it a different way. And it's just, it's wonderful because it's just a visual object that people can enjoy without having to engage the artist personally. They can take away whatever meaning they want, and that's pure joy in creation and exhibiting, you know. I love it.
Looking at some of your art and reading some of your works, it seems like they're very personal.
Yeah.
I mean, you're exposing a really personal side of yourself to the world, and that you have no fear about that at all?
No, I've never have. I mean, we have a song in X called Because I Do. When John and I were married, I wrote it. It goes, I am the married kind, forever searching for someone new. And that's big in a marriage to say that in a song on stage in front of a lot of people, but that's how I felt. And John accepted that. I think that the more personal you are, the more general you are. If in other words, as much detail and emotion as you can put into your own view will be what people apply to themselves. You know, like, so it doesn't have to be so general that it means nothing. It can be very personal, very specific to you, but it's more general that way, more applicable to people, more people.
What has inspired your fashion sense over the years?
Thrift stores. Thrift stores, and the fact that I like to live in the past as much as possible when it comes to clothing and things to own. I like old cars, I like old clothes, I don't like anything modern very much, and I'm not like one of those people that would ever wear designer clothes or anything like that, unless it was like an old Chanel suit from the 60s that I found somewhere. But my style is like everything else in my art and everything else. It's like America's cast off stuff with new hope put into it to make it something different and new and keep it alive so it doesn't get lost.
Do you have like a favorite makeup that you like to wear?
I wear Chanel makeup.
Ooh, that's nice.
And I wear MAC lipstick, and sometimes, and yeah, I like all that sparkly stuff.
Yeah. The decline of Western civilization versus the Unheard music.
They're completely different films, and I think that that illustrates how the decline of Western civilization was successful in creating an image that was very specific to one idea, whereas the Unheard music was about 4 people and their lives and the music and the scene and their struggle and all this different stuff and what kind of people they were and what they ate or how they took care of their cat, you know, their houses and all that. And whereas the decline had an agenda in a way, and I don't think it showed. It didn't show enough of who those people were. They were much more interesting and artistic and creative and beautiful than you come away with when you see that movie. That to me is the tragedy. Now the music and documenting that scene, very, very important, very good job, you know, changed a million lives.
Who came up with the concept for the Unheard music movie?
4 filmmakers from UCLA.
And they approached you guys,
Yeah.
and you said, yeah, we're up for it.
No.
No?
We said, what's in it for us? What do you mean you're going to film us? We're not going to just give you us.
Uh-huh.
And they said, well, we can get you some money. And they came up with some money, a small amount of money, and gave us some money and started filming. And we got to know them a little bit. And then we go back and forth. No, we don't like this. Yes, we like that. And we got to know them and trust them. And it went on and on and on and on.
Really? How long?
I have no idea.
But now, how did you feel about being followed around by a camera
I was
crew?
really cranky about it. I was in my more aggressive Exene phase. And they were obtrusive and annoying, and they made a beautiful movie. I love that movie.
Why did Billy Zoom leave after Ain't Love Grand?
Because he was smart. We all should have left before Ain't Love Grand. When John and I split up, we probably should have called it a day, but we wanted to stick it out, and we had Dave Alvin at the time. Billy left because he was tired of touring, and he needed to make some life changes. He just didn't want to do what he was doing anymore. And he went away for a while and did other things. And then we continued on with Dave Alvin and Tony Gilkison. And then that ended. Dave left, and then Tony left, and then we thought it was over. And then one day, this TV show, the name of which I forget now, it's that X-Files. I almost called it the F-Files. The X-Files wanted us to do a commercial for them. They wanted Billy to play a song, and they wanted me in it or something. And so they just set up this thing out in front of my store that I had at Silver Lake at the time. And Billy showed up, and I hadn't seen him in years, with his silver jacket on, his hair all perfect, his little amp, his Gretsch guitar, and played. And all these people were on the street watching because we had told people he was coming. And that kind of got him back into doing it.
Ain't Love Grand was produced by Michael Wagner, who was known for being a heavy metal producer at the time. In fact, he actually produced a Stryper record, Soldiers Under Command. There's a rumor that Dokken was brought in to sing backup vocals on that album. Is this true?
Yes, that's true. He was there.
Do you remember it?
Yeah.
What did you think? What were you thinking?
Well, at that point, we just needed some voices. And usually in the studio, when you need voices, you pull everybody in, whoever's around. So I didn't really think too much about it. Engineers will sing on a song, It depends on what you're going for. I mean, if you're doing just like blah, blah vocals,
And did he talk to you? Did you talk to him?
Oh, yeah. I've hung out with Motley Crue and all these, like, weird Hollywood heavy metal hair band people before. It's interesting, and I'm not prejudiced against them,
Do you feel the 2 X records without Billy get the respect they deserve?
I think that there are good songs on every X record, and I think there are good things and bad things about every X record, And I try to go, when I listen to records, I listen to the song. I don't listen to the snare sound. Or I don't listen to how shitty the production is if it's like, real lo-fi either, So, in that way, I think that they're good records.